Welcome to Better Daily Life, where we are moving forward 1% better every single day. Download the app and supercharge your journey at betterdaily.life. Now it's time to ditch facts and get facts with your host and my dad, Alex Van Houten.
What is up, Betterment family? This is Alex Van Houten in Better Daily Live. Happy Monday. It is Mindset Monday, and Mindset Monday is one of my favorite days of the week because we can kick off the week strong with a healthy and awesome mindset. And here in Better Daily, we believe in the power of mindset because mindset gives us an opportunity to take that 1% part of our brain that we do have control over and to shine that light, to take that light of attention and focus and put it in the places that we care to grow in, that we care to develop and we care to reside in. It's almost like making a proclamation or a mantra or an intention for the week that says this is the way things are going to be. And personally, I check my mindset daily, but Mindset Tuesday, Mindset Wednesday, Mindset Thursday, that would, one, get monotonous, and two, it doesn't have the same alliteration. So you're stuck with Mindset Monday. Getting excited. And today's mindset is, it's okay to be wrong. I'm very excited to bring this mindset to you. So, let's face it. You're not perfect. Now, I am. I'm just kidding, I'm not perfect. But you're not perfect, I'm not perfect. We're going to make mistakes. But when was the last time that you found yourself admitting out loud that you'd made a mistake and were able to own that with integrity? I'm sorry I did this, but doesn't count. How about, yep, I did that, I said that, I thought that. That was the wrong way to look at things. Now I understand that this would be the right way forward. Genuinely apologize for the consequences of my actions there, and I intend to shift the way I do things in the future. I mean, that's the ethos of a good apology, right? But I want to bring this mindset to you today. It's okay to be wrong. Because, well, while it's okay to be wrong, we'll get there in a second, our ethos today, our culture today, our society, especially from a social media perspective, oftentimes being wrong is such a cardinal sin that nobody will admit to it. And so many people will be wrong and then dig their heels in even though they know they're wrong. Now, I'm going to use myself as an example. I don't want to be too preachy here, but I'll use myself as an example. This will happen in our household sometimes, that perhaps I've done something like, often happens with regard to kids, because I'm not a perfect parent. Kids don't necessarily come with a handbook. A lot of people have written books about kids, but they don't tell you the whole story, all right? Everybody has an opinion about parenting. But, as kids grow, it's like you're learning their personality. It's like your children are teaching you just as much as you're teaching them, right? Because they come with their own, and if you're not a parent, nothing I'm about to say is going to make any sense to you, and so I'm very sorry. But they come with their own set of personality traits, and they come with their own set of opinions, and they formulate those things, and your job as a parent, one, is to help to mold them, to socialize them, to enculturate them, so that when they butt up against the world, it's no surprise that the world punches back, right? It's like, hey, I feel this way, I think this way, I want things this way. Like, all right, buddy, well, good luck with that, because not everybody's going to bend to the way you want things. That's one of your jobs as a parent, is minimal necessary force in helping them to learn how to play well with others, so to speak. But another job as a parent is to recognize the strengths and the beauties and the goodness and truth that's wrapped up in this little human, and to help them to manifest those, well, to help them bring out the best in themselves. Those two jobs as a parent are difficult, because sometimes you're caught between wanting to teach them that they can't bend the world around them to be whatever they want. And another part of you is like, well, I want them to manifest their creativity. Like molding a game of catch such that you and your little brother are having a grand old time is fine in the backyard, but please don't do that next to Mom's favorite vase and my windows. Right? because if you break a window, I'll be very upset with you. And now my oldest is of the age where he could actually do some work to pay for the damage he's done to the house. And that would be an important lesson for him to learn, although I want him to be creative and play his games. Anyway, my point is, sometimes as a father, my reaction to things or my attempts to balance those two desires as a parent to bring discipline and structure and reality to the wondrous time of childhood while also nurturing and developing and growing the best in my children. Sometimes those two worlds collide, and when they collide, my response as a dad isn't always the best. Mealtimes are a great example. I have a 3-year-old, and he has an opinion about what foods he does or doesn't want to eat, and those opinions seem to change day to day. And so you, as a parent, want your kid to get nutrition in his face, and you can't just subsist on chicken nuggets and Cheetos for the rest of your life. I mean, you could try, but it's not going to work out well for you, right? But additionally speaking, I grew up in a setting where, like, hey, this is dinner, and this is what it is. And sure, our household could afford to buy all the chicken nuggets my 3-year-old could possibly want to eat, but at the same time, he needs to learn to eat some things he doesn't really care for, and to be grateful, and to do that in a setting, and maybe develop a taste for things that you initially don't like. So at mealtime, sometimes I find myself saying things as a dad that, as I'm saying them, I'm like, ooh, that's wrong. I don't know the right way, but that was wrong. That was the wrong way to say that. Like, son, if you don't eat your food, I will shove it down your face for you, and you won't like it. Like, oh, no. Probably not the solution to the nutrition problem. But it's okay to be wrong. It is okay to be wrong. It is okay to make mistakes and to own them, and it's okay to have an opinion that perhaps wasn't quite informed. It's okay to act in a way that really actually sucks, and you don't need to do that anymore, and that's the rub. It's okay to be wrong, but it's not okay to stay wrong. And my mindset for you today is this: on your betterment journey, you're growing. And when you grow, your understanding of things changes. Your understanding of the way the world works, the understanding of your place in it, the understanding of the way you interact with the people around you, and how you treat yourself. It's okay to be wrong, but it's not okay to stay that way. As you grow, you'll start to notice, wow, you know what? I was wrong about that thing. And the reason this is a mindset is because today, when people realize they're wrong, instead of saying, you know what? I was wrong. The way I thought about this thing was wrong. Here's why. The way I acted about this thing was wrong. Here's why. The way I said that was wrong, and here's why. I'm ready to change that. People don't say that anymore, or at least not very often. It takes a very strong person to say, yep, I was wrong about that. It takes a very strong person to say that, instead of digging your heels in, because we don't like admitting when we're wrong. We don't like admitting when our belief structure failed us. We don't like admitting when our ignorance is out in the open for everybody to see. We don't like when our ability to control our emotions and to make good use of ourselves, we don't like it when those things are right out in the open for everybody to see. And so instead, what happens is we dig our heels in. We dig them in hard. We entrench our position, and we get more and more and more wrong. And we become increasingly in denial of our position. And my call to you today, here in Better Daily, is you're stronger than that. You're better than that. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to admit that to yourself. It's okay to realize and understand that. And it's okay to say it out loud. And then, it's not okay to continue being that way. When something you encounter in your week says, you're wrong on that. You know you're wrong. And something about that's not quite right. It's okay to say, you know what? I'm kind of wrong about that. And then get better. That's what we do. We get better. And please, please, please try to keep yourself from saying, I was wrong about that, but, because then there's a litany of excuses as to why you're wrong. Instead, you can say, I was wrong about that. And now, and then go from there. I was wrong about that thing, and now I understand XYZ. And now I'm going to do this instead. And if you did some hurt in your wrongness, a sincere apology is pretty awesome. Now, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. I own that. I was talking to Dad at church this past weekend. He and I were talking about how his son, he's a young guy, 6 or 7, his son is asking a lot of really cool questions about the faith. And he asked me point blank, Alex, what's something I can do as a dad to help him understand forgiveness? What's something I can do as a dad to help him understand repentance? And these are really good questions, right? So I thought about it for a second. And I said, when your son becomes old enough to understand that you're not perfect, and at the same time becomes old enough to understand that he's not perfect either, something you can do as a dad to model integrity, to model repentance, to model forgiveness, is to openly admit when you're wrong. Tell him, hey buddy, I messed up here. I was wrong in that. I'm sorry. Here's what I should have done instead. Here's what I should have said. Instead, here's what I'm going to work on in the future. To be able to say that. And his whole face lit up. He's like, whoa, that's good. That's good. I need to do that. I don't do that right now. I was like, yeah, as a dad, I get it. With really young kids, it's your way or the highway, man. Sometimes there's rules in place to protect them. That no matter what they think or how they feel, whatever you got to do to enforce those rules, that matters. Like, don't run out in the parking lot at Walmart. You will get run over by a car, and Dada will do, say, or act in whatever manner is required to keep you from getting murdered by a vehicle. Makes sense. Dad's always right in that case. But life's a lot more nuanced than that. And as our children grow and as you grow, you'll have a much better understanding of what's right and when you're wrong, and it's okay to be wrong. Just don't stay that way. Don't dig your heels in like your knee-jerk response or your instinct wants to. Be willing to own it. And be willing to grow, because that's what we do here. Guys, this has been Alex Van Houten in Better Daily Life. Thank you so much for joining me for Mindset Monday. Tomorrow's Nutrition Tip Tuesday, and I plan to talk to you about an awesome, brand new scientific research paper. Oh, I guess every research paper would be scientific, whatever. Anyway, awesome new paper on artificial sweeteners. I think it's going to blow your mind. Until next time, guys, it's just 1%. You got this.
Thank you for joining us for your 1% better. Be you, just better, in mind, body, and spirit. Go to betterdaily.life, download our app, and check out our 5-star coaching resources. We all have a cross to carry. It's lighter when we do it together. Go to betterdaily.life today.